Now we've completed our detail, and all the elements are in place. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to select everything here. Okay, the square block here I'm going to take out, so I'm going to hit my shift key and just take it out, because that's the image in the background. See if I can get rid of that. Okay, yeah, it's gone there, part of the selection, and I'm just going to hit copy, take it from this point here, and as you see I've already done this. I'm going to make 5 copies the whole way up, like so. Now I'm doing this in the north elevation again because it allows me to move vertically, which enables me to do that. Okay, and if I go into my 3D view, all right, this is what I get here. So this is one way of presenting the detail, and it's a good way, because what I can do now is I'm going to turn these levels off here now. I don't really need those anymore, so I'm going to hit VV on the keyboard, go into annotation categories, scroll all the way down to levels and take them off. Okay, now what I'm going to do is simple exercise. I'm going to strip this right back, so I'm going to pick this, I'm going to pick that, this. I get as many in the first round as I can. Zoom in a bit here, pick that, pick that. Okay, and I'll just come down here to hide elements. Then we shall go to that again. This, that, that, this, that. That one, I'm going to pick these 2 as well. There and that, and we'll just go into here and go hide element. Okay, and that one, and that one, that one, that one. Hide element, and that one, hide element. Now, so I stripped it right back, so the only thing I have is the wall and the floor connector pieces. So that's the start of the construction. You're going to get your walls in, you're going to fix those connector pieces, because you're going to connect into the wall from there. All right, now you'll go through that with each of these here, building up the layers. So the next thing, I'll strip back everything except the floors, so that the floors will connect in here, and so on like that. So think about the sequence of construction as you go along, and so what we'll have then is from the start more or less to the finish here. So I'm going to pause this now, and I'm going to do that, and then I'll come back because I'm going to show you how to annotate this as well. Now I've done that exercise where I've just pared back to the bare bones number 1, put in the floors number 2, put in the SIP panels number 3, put in the framing number 4, the insulation on the roof, the waterproofing on the roof, the counter flashing in there as well, some of the underneath work on the walls, the tiling and the cement board there. And then in the final one here, I've got everything in, and I've just moved. I've moved the cladding back here to expose the counter battening, and I've also moved the drip tray back a little bit here as well. Now I probably should change the color of that drip tray or something like that, just to distinguish it from the flashing. But that's the idea. So we've got the construction sequence there. Now what I want to show you is how we're going to annotate this, because that's obviously very important as well. So because these are now grouped families, if you like, so what I can do is, if I take this one here, right, I can now go into edit type. Okay, and I get hold of the parameters here. All right, and what I'm looking for is the description, perhaps the assembly code, and maybe a type mark and type comment, something like that there. So what I'm going to do is go back to my original, I'll just cancel out of the type properties there. I'll go back to my original detail here. Now, what does it say about the insulation here? So it's about our flat board, right? So I'm going to click that, and I'm going to take all of that information, Control C. Okay, back to detail 2. Okay, we'll go into the type properties here. Cancel. I might just need to escape. Come out of that now for a second. Not letting me do that for some reason. Okay. There we go. That's it. Right. Let's select that. And we'll go into that type properties. Here we are here, and I'm going to, in the description, Control V. Okay, that didn't work. Oh, there's the oh, I just picked up the assembly code, so I'll go Control X that, and I'll put that in Control V. Let me take that one down. Oh, there it is. It is. Sometimes it is a little bit funny. Right, there we go. Our flat board, we've got the assembly code, and then whatever the type mark is, so I'll go OK. Now, so you will go through that exercise of selecting each one of these, whatever it might be, and put in the note. Now, in order to get the notes into our assembly here, what we need to do is this. We need to come down here and into the Unlock 3D view on the tools at the very bottom of the screen here. We need to click into this, and we're going to say Save Orientation and Lock View. So what I generally do is, you can see I've created a duplicate copy of the 3D, the original 3D that I created. I've called it Detail 2 View 1, and this is the one I'm going to lock. Now you have to lock this in order to be able to get your notes in there. Notice that this is at a scale of 1:100. I'll show you what happens here. So I'm going to annotate, and again, we're using multi-category tags here. So we've got the tag construction description, right? So let's get in here now. There you go. And we can stick that right there. Now, that's obviously way too big, so I'm going to change the scale here down to 1:20, which is what it would be. All right. So we can move this in down here, and I can put that something into that. Right, let's see if I've got another one in here. I might have something for, no, I don't have that one. I have the walls here, all right, so I'll go with the walls, and I'll just line these up like so. Now, get the idea? So you're going to be able to notate this all the way through. We might put in some text here, some plain text in this case here. So text 2.5 narrow, and I'll just put in this one here, and we go step 1. Okay, is install walls and fix CLT floor connectors. Okay. Now that's the idea. So escape. So step 1, we're going to describe that. Step 2, we're going to describe that. Step 3, we're going to describe that. Step 4, and so on. So you can do your descriptions down here and your material notes all the way through there. Okay, now what do we do with that? How do we get this into the project? All right. Back. Now, so my solution to this is that we're going to export this as a PDF, and I'm going to show you how to do this. So we'll go into File. This is just on the view. I've not got it on a sheet, and that's fine. And we will go into Print. Okay, just want to cancel that. File, Print, PDF. Now, so Revit detail number 2, look where it's going. It's going into Documents, I'm going to pick an A1 paper size. I'm going to zoom to 100. I'm going to turn it to portrait. Okay, because is that sheet portrait or was it? No, it was landscape. So it doesn't really matter then. So we'll do landscape. I'm bringing the raster quality up to presentation. It's centered and everything. So we'll export that now. And I don't need to keep these. Now it asks you, do you want to turn off the temporary hide? No, we don't want to do that. We want to leave the temporary hide on. Okay. And that will go ahead and create a PDF. Okay, so let's check modified. Okay, now you can see there it is there. All right, so it's in my documents folder there. Now I'll go back to my original sheet. I'll go to insert, import PDF. Here it is here, and I'll go open. Now this is where the PDF has the advantage. PDF comes in as a standard 72 GPI, but we can take it up to 300 or 600 even. All right, we'll go OK. That means that that pixelation won't appear. Right, and we'll just something akin to that. Escape. We can save that. Now you can see that the clarity of that is a lot better. We're getting some heavy lines here, and so we can deal with that at one stage. Now, so what we've done here now is we've got a nice flat 2D detail. We've got an explanation of how to build this, which makes you think about the assembly and makes you think about the detail. And you can pick up kind of any errors like I did there in terms of the positioning of the counter flashing and things like that. Okay, so that's really important. You'll have a full breakdown of all the materials that you've used here, and you'll have the steps of how the construction is done there, and that's complementary to what we're having here. So that is how we create a 3D detail. Not only that now, but we've now built up a resource. So I'll just go in and show you here. So we're back into here and into all Revit and into my UK, and here's my details, my solid details. So I created this folder, right, 001 3D solid details, because it's up the top of my UK library. Double click. You can see now I've made these, I've divided these into subfolders. So I've got our connectors, we've got our flooring details, and so on. We've got our profiles for the drips and that type of thing. And now these are all families, so they can all be imported into any of your projects as you go along. And so I think that's a smart way to go about that. One of the things that that is not, has foxed me a little bit, is that if I open up this detail here, okay, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to go File, Open Family, and in here solids, and I'll go into we'll go into those profiles, and I'll go into that drip profile, and I'll open that. Okay, so there it is there, and you can see now that I don't get access to the type property. So whereas I'd love to put a description in the family here, I can't do that. So it's only when I import it into the project that I get access to the type properties, and I can copy and paste to the description, the assembly code, and the type mark into the type properties of that unit within the project as such, so I can use the multi-category tags. Okay, that's basically it. I'm just going to have a little play around and see if I can do an exploded version of this here rather than a sequential version. I'm going to see if I can do an exploded version as well. Okay.